Hello, I'm Dr. Scott Lee. I'm one of the librarians here at the Antelope Valley College Library, and I'm here today to introduce you to Ebsco Discovery Service. Ebsco Discovery, or EDS, a discovery service. What that means is it's not one database, but it's actually a collection of, in this case, thousands of databases, tens of thousands of databases that collectively have millions of records, but you can go to one place to search at one time for everything. You go to the interface for EDS, Ebsco Discovery Service. So that's what I'm here to show you today. So the first part of using EDS is, where do you find it? Well, it's actually quite easy. Ebsco Discovery is actually on the home page for the library. So here I'm at the home page for the college. Go to Campus Life and click Library, and that takes us to the library's homepage. Once there, you see this box. It says Search for Resources. This is the initial search box for researching using Ebsco Discovery. Now, this search box has a number of options in it, and so we're going to look at a couple. First is, you'll notice two tabs: an Ebsco Discovery Service EDS tab and a Library Catalog Primo tab. Primo is our library catalog, and what that allows you to do is search for books. You can search for print and ebooks in Primo. With Ebsco Discovery, you can search for books, both print and ebooks, also in addition to, as mentioned before, articles, video files, all kinds of different materials. So if you know there's a specific book, or that what you're looking for is a book, then you would want to use Primo. But if you want to find everything we have on a topic, you would want to use EDS. By the way, ebooks that you find in Primo actually will connect you to Ebsco Discovery Service. So the book, in many cases, the ebook actually resides in Ebsco Discovery, but you can search for it in Primo as part of the library catalog. Other options, so you have the search box, and the search box is where you select what topic, what idea you want to search for. So in this case, I'm going to search for information technology. Beneath that, you have the option for keyword, title, or author. Basically, if you know you only want to search for title, or you know the name of an author you want to search for, you can use title or author. If you search keyword, however, that will search title, author, and everything else. Keyword is the default, and the recommendation is just to stick with keyword. Beneath that, you have two other options. You have full text and scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Full text basically is telling EDS, I only want to see materials that you have in full text, meaning in some things in EDS, you can see that it exists, but EDS can't provide it for you. But if you have full text, if it is full text, EDS can provide it for you. And if you select full text, you'll only get things that EDS can provide. You won't have to look somewhere else to find it. And then scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Those are the highest form of research materials you can find. Many of you will have already had an instructor tell you you're only allowed to use scholarly journals or peer-reviewed journals. If you have not, the odds are you probably will eventually. But if you want to limit to scholarly peer-reviewed journals, you can click this button. I'm not going to click it right now, however, because I'm going to show you something else about peer-reviewed journals once we get in. At that point, I'm just going to click the search button, and we're going to go into Ebsco Discovery. Now, I'm home, and so if you are home and not on campus, basically homework or anywhere you're not on campus, you'll be asked to log in through AVCID. If you're on campus, it would just go straight in. So I'm going to click Login here, and now I'll get in to EDS. And once I'm in, everything I see in EDS will look the same and function the same whether I'm on campus or off campus. So once you do your initial search, you're now in the EDS interface. You want to apply filters to limit how much you have. 19 million is too much. So EDS gives you a collection of filters that you can use to try to limit that. In the old interface, those filters were over here on the left side. However, in this new interface, they're now here at the top. So for example, the scholarly peer-reviewed journals. So let's say we want to only have scholarly peer-reviewed journals. So we can click that button right there, and now I've applied the scholarly peer-reviewed journals filter. Again, I could have done that going in, but I waited until now because I just wanted to show it to you. It's the same filter, just exists in two different places. As you can see, my results dropped down quite a bit, down to 6,772,559. That's the whole point of a filter, to start reducing things. So we want to add more filters. Adding more filters gets the numbers down even further. So let's say your instructor has given you a time limit or a time limit. So you can place a time limit or a time filter. So up here on my buttons, I can go to where it says all time. Right now it's set for all articles ever published ever on information technology that exists in Ebsco Discovery. But I'm going to limit it down to the past 5 years. And as you can see, we've now gone from 6 million down to 2 million. So again, that's the process. You apply a filter and you see how it affects things. Let's look at another filter. Now, these are 3 filters that they put right out in front, but you can get to all of the filters here where it says all filters. If I click there, I will now see a range of filters that I can apply. So for example, language. Perhaps you only want things in English. So we can apply that filter and we'll drop down further. A good one to apply, one of my favorites, is the subject filter. Now, before I tell you how to use this, let me explain what this is using. So let's look at the first article here. So we have our title, Rural Urban Healthcare Access Inequality Challenge, Transformative Roles of Information Technology. Right here where it says subject, these are subject headings that are connected to this article. So these are the ideas that are really defining what this article is about. The issue is, in terms of this article, it's specific to healthcare. You may not want anything specific to healthcare. So let's go back to all filters, go back to subject. Now in this case, we're going to be looking for research articles about information technology specific to colleges and universities. So let's see what subject headings would work. So we have one for higher education. Let's select that. And then the number you see here, that's actually how many articles exist in the 2.5 million we've already found that have higher education as a subject heading. So 22,000 is a lot better than 2.5 million. So let's just apply the higher education filter and let's apply it and see what happens. So we're now down to our 22,000, and that number one article we were seeing, all about health. So once we applied this filter, that article is now gone. So we put on several filters, and now we are down to 22,472, which is much better than 2.5 million. Again, that's the whole goal of applying filters. Now, I do want to point out these two items. This one, it's a publication. In this case, it's a publication called Information Technology. And in some cases, you may do a search that finds a publication that has the specific title that you're looking for. You can then use this to actually search just within that publication. Over here we have on the right, we have a research starter. A research starter is something that EDS produces to help you get introduced to a topic. So if you're ever researching a really big, large topic, you don't quite understand it, and you see a research starter, it can allow you to quickly go in, get some brief information about what this topic is, to get a sense of scope, and that can help you as you're moving forward in your research. Now let's look at an article. In this case, let's look at the third article, the role of information technology and modern methods in the system of higher education. First, again, remember we limited ourselves to scholarly peer-reviewed journal. If you have any questions of, is this a scholarly peer-reviewed journal? If you see the words peer-reviewed and the little yellow check mark, a little yellow flower with a black check mark, that means you're looking at a scholarly peer-reviewed journal. Now, this article exists as a PDF file. PDFs are very useful files for research articles because it allows you to see the entire article as if it was in print and in your hand. Now, once you're in it, if you ever want to go back out, you just click the little button up to the top left and that takes you back out of it. We can also click on the title to go into an article. The subject terms I mentioned before, these are all links. You can click on these at any point and see everything that has computer science as a subject heading, or information technology as a subject heading, or higher education as a subject heading. That's also really helpful. If you're not quite sure what subject heading to use, any of these will work to help connect you to that. We can again access the PDF file from here. We can download it. You also have further options up here. One of the really useful ones is the Cite option. So with Cite, you can actually see how to properly cite it in multiple different formats. So if I choose APA, this is how to cite it in APA format. I can go and choose MLA. This is how to cite it in MLA format. Another option you have is Share. When you are logged into EDS through your AVC ID, it actually connects you to Google Drive. This is very, very useful and a very powerful tool. Using this, you can actually save this article directly to Google Drive. Your other option is to email it. Go here, type in your email address, and you can send it to any email address you want. It does not have to be an AVC email address. Whatever email address you want to send it to, you can email it to yourself. So you also have two other options, or a couple other options here. Add to project and save. Now here at the top right, this icon will allow you to connect to your My Ebsco account. My Ebsco is an area within Ebsco Discovery that is specifically created for you as a user. However, in order to use it, you have to be logged in through AVC ID. So if you're home and you've already logged in through AVC ID, it should automatically be connected. On the other hand, if you're on campus and you need to be logged in and you're not, if you go here, you would see a link that says sign in to My Ebsco, and from there it would actually take you to AVC ID, log you in, and at that point you can use the services that My Ebsco provides. One of the very useful services is a save feature. So up here you see this little ribbon. If I click that, it'll actually save this article. And over on the left, I can click here and I can see a list of items that I've saved. And this goes beyond your current session. So you can save things here for an extended period of time and come back to see them later. It's up to you. You can also unsave something at any point by clicking here. In addition to save, you also have this icon, which is add to project. When you click that, you can actually select projects that you've already predefined and pre-named, or create a new one, and then save any items you find in Ebsco into those project areas. Very useful when you're working on a specific research project and you want to keep all of your resources and materials together. Create a project, save them all to that, and then later you can keep it past the course you're in, where that project will stay as long as you're a student at AVC, or you can delete it at the end of the course or the project. It's up to you. So that's it. I hope you found this little tour through Ebsco Discovery Service and its new interface useful. Please remember, if you're using Ebsco or using any of the resources in the library, you have questions, please feel free to come to the library. We're open and available to help you at any point, or you can reach out to us through a number of different resources. In fact, one of the items that's in the new Ebsco interface is down here, this little box. You can actually click there and open up a chat window to have a live chat with a librarian while you're in Ebsco Discovery. So again, the library is always here to help you. We have a powerful collection of research tools that are always available to you. Please feel free to reach out at any point. I'm Dr. Scott Lee, and I hope this has been helpful.